Hello, hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather Corinne, and today we're going to be crocheting these adorable mini pumpkins, so stay tuned. I would say this is probably an intermediate pattern because it does require more challenging stitches such as the magic circle, chain stitch, single crochet increase, single crochet decrease, and a half double crochet. So I'm going to put a link to my blog post down below that has this pattern typed out in case you like to visually look at a pattern, and there will also probably be a link to where you can go to my Etsy shop and purchase a printable PDF version. So I'm so excited to get started on this one. Let's get to it. Today we're going to be using a 4mm or G as in girl crochet hook and some just worsted weight yarn that I got at Target and Walmart. I usually use the Red Heart Super Saver. We're going to start off with a magic circle, which if you don't know how to do this, it is the most amazing thing. There's a reason they call it magic. Be sure to look it up so that you know how to do it. But basically you wrap the yarn around your finger and crochet into the circle before pulling it tight. So we chained one, and we're going to single crochet 6 stitches into this circle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so now what's cool about the circle is you pull the loose string and it pulls it tight to where you can't see where you started the work. Ta-da! Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around, so we'll have a total of 12 single crochets on this round. I like to use a stitch marker to mark the very first stitch of each round so that I know where I started and when I've gotten back to the beginning without having to count every single stitch. For round 3, we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch. So that's 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to do that all the way around. So 2 in one stitch, 1 in the next. That should give us 18 stitches total at the end of this row. For round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch and single crochet in the next stitch. So 2 single crochet in the first, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches all the way around. That will give us a total of 24 stitches. For rounds 5 through 9, we're going to single crochet in each stitch around, so that'll be 24 stitches on each round. I like to leave my stitch markers in for these so that I know where I am and how many rounds I've done and I won't get lost. As you can see, I've left my stitch markers in so that I can tell I have done rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. For round 10, we're going to do a single crochet decrease. So the way to do that is to put your hook in, pull through, put your hook in the next one, pull through, then pull through all 3, and you've effectively turned 2 stitches into 1 stitch. Then we're going to mark that so we know the first stitch of that row, and then we're going to put a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll do another single crochet decrease and single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and we'll continue this all the way around, and that should bring us back down to 18 stitches. For the 11th row, we're going to do a single crochet decrease in the first stitch and then a single crochet in the next stitch, and we'll continue on like this until the end of this round, which will leave us with 12 stitches total. Now it's time to add our stuffing, so I pull the last stitch I ended on a little further out so that it won't unravel, and I put a stitch marker in there in case it does get pulled. Then I'm going to take some polyfill stuffing and just stuff the pumpkin to the desired fullness. Typically I like it a little overstuffed rather than understuffed. The goal is just to not be able to see the polyfill through the sides of the stitches. Now that we've added the amount of stuffing we like, we're going to do the final round, which is round 12. We're going to single crochet decrease 6 times in a row. This can be a little challenging because the stitches are fairly close together and your hook is super tiny, but it is worth it because it almost seals that bottom hole all the way up. It'll just barely be visible, and then we're going to stitch that up in just a minute. At the end of row 12, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to cut the yarn with a decently long tail, which will be useful for creating the little ridges on the outside of the pumpkin. And then once we've trimmed it off, we're going to pull it through that last chain 1, which sort of prevents it from ever unraveling. You can see the hole in the bottom is just barely visible now, so we're going to use our yarn needle and seal that hole at the bottom, not super tightly because we're going to need to be able to get the needle back through, but just run it through like maybe 2 stitches along the edge to kind of close that opening up at the bottom. Now for the fun part, we're going to insert the needle at the very bottom of the pumpkin in the center and wiggle it through all that polyfill and bring it out straight through the top. At this point, you want to start holding a bit of tension and wrap it all the way around the edge and back up through the bottom and out the top. And this is how we're going to make all of the little ridges. Isn't it so cute? I did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wraparounds to create this pumpkin shape, and at the end you're going to keep it pulled pretty tight and just sort of tie off at the top. Then after you've tied off, you run the needle back from the top down through the bottom to get rid of that tail and trim off the excess after pulling pretty tight to keep that pumpkin shape. Next, we're going to make a cute little stem. So to start, we'll leave a pretty long tail at the bottom, and we're going to chain 6. In the 3rd chain from the hook, we're going to half double crochet, then half double crochet in the next, single crochet in the next one, and slip stitch into the last one, and then we're going to chain 1 and cut off with the same length tail as the other side and pull that through the chain 1.
Using your yarn needle, you're going to insert one tail of the stem through the top of the pumpkin, ever so slightly off center, and pull through the bottom where we created the curves. Then we're going to repeat this with the other side, slightly off center from the first, and pull it through the bottom. And then we'll tie both of those tails together at the bottom and trim off any excess yarn.
I hope you have enjoyed making these adorable pumpkins with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below and consider subscribing so you see my next project. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.